The main menus have undergone a shake-up in this version of Dreamweaver. The Modify, Format and Commands menus have been removed, and in their place are two new menus, Tools and Find. Most options from the menus that have been removed are now on the Edit menu or on the new Tools menu. For example, the Edit menu is the new home for Quick Tag Editor, Link, Table and Image. They've all moved from the Modify menu. Page Properties, which was also on the Modify menu, has moved to the File menu. It's down there at the bottom. But Libraries and Templates have moved from the Modify menu to the new Tools menu. They're down here, Library and Templates. The other options on the Tools menu come mainly from the old Commands menu. For example, Externalize JavaScript, Clean up HTML, Clean up Word HTML, Clean up Web Font Script Tag, Spell Check, and Manage Fonts. But the two items at the bottom, HTML and CSS, have both come from the Format menu. But the other options from the Format menu are now on the Edit menu. So let's just take a quick look. Edit, then Code. Indent code and outdent code are here. Then there's also options for text, paragraph format, and list. These have all come from the Format menu. But sharp-eyed viewers will have noticed that the text submenu has options for indent and outdent with different keyboard shortcuts from the code submenu. On the code submenu, the keyboard shortcut for indent code is Control-Shift greater than on Windows, Command-Shift greater than on a Mac, whereas text, the keyboard shortcut for indent is Control-Alt right square bracket on Windows. On a Mac, it's Command-Option right square bracket. So what's going on here? Let's go into Code View first. In Code View, both sets of keyboard shortcuts indent and outdent code. Just position your cursor anywhere inside a line and use the relevant keyboard shortcut to move the code further to the right or to the left. But if I go into Live View or Design View and select a list item and then go to the Edit menu and text indent, what happens is it nests a list inside that existing list. And if I go to Edit, Text, Outdent, and of course use the keyboard shortcuts, they work as well, that will remove that nested list. And let's just scroll down to find a paragraph, select the paragraph in Live View, go to the Edit menu, Text, Indent, and what has happened is it's wrapped that paragraph in a pair of block quote tags. And if I go to Edit, Text, Outdent, the block quote is removed. Well, let's take a look at the other new menu, the Find menu. If the focus is in Live View, all of the options are grayed out, but if you hover over the first option, you get a tooltip telling you that it's available only in Design View. Well, actually, it's also available in Code View. I'll come back to Find and Replace in the next video. The remaining options on the Find menu are designed to make it easier to find and make multiple selections in code. So let's switch to Code View. And I'm just going to scroll up so that we can see this unordered list. Although you can use the menu options, it's much more efficient to use the keyboard shortcuts. So I'm going to select this first LI, just the name of the tag rather than the angle brackets. And to find the next instance of the current selection, press F3 on Windows or Command G on a Mac. So that's selected the second LI. And we can go backwards to find the previous instance, press Shift F3 on Windows or Shift Command G on a Mac. And that's taken us back to the previous instance of LI. To select all instances, it's Control Shift F3 on Windows or Control Command G on a Mac. And that's selected all the LIs in the page, including those in text, so it's not just getting the LIs within the tags. Unless you're looking for a fairly distinctive value, such as a variable or function name, selecting all instances tends to be a bit of a sledgehammer approach. So I'm going to press Escape to deselect everything and then go back up to my first item here, select that again, A slower but more accurate approach is to use Control-R on Windows or Control-Command-R on a Mac to add the next match to the selection. So I've now got those first two LIs. If I continue with Control-R on Windows or Control-Command-R on a Mac, I can continue adding to my selection. And I'm getting all my LIs. But this next one gets the LI in the middle of portfolio. When you get to a value that you don't want to include in the selection, you can deselect it and skip to the next match. Now, at the time of recording this video, the keyboard shortcut Control-Alt-R isn't working on Windows, so I do need to use the menu option this time. So I go to Find, Skip and Add Next Match to Selection. If I select that, it deselects that LI in portfolio and now selects that second LI there. But on a Mac, the keyboard shortcut does work, Control-Command-Option-R. So that's how the menus have been revamped in this version of Dreamweaver. The Modify, Format and Commands menus have been removed. Most of the options have been moved to the Edit menu or to the new Tools menu. There's also a new Find menu that makes it easier to find and make multiple selections in Code View.